G'day, mate, and welcome to Celeritas. Uh, my name's Webbo. I'm here tonight with my good friend Branch.
Hello.
We are about to get racing in Australia at the Albert Park circuit. We are just collecting our drivers as usual. Welcome to anyone joining us on the stream, and we look forward to enjoying another spectacular Celeritas race with you all. Branch, yesterday, how did the race go for our drivers?
Um, Extremely hectic, to say the least. Two safety cars. There was a massive wreck in turn 3, I think, that took about 8 drivers. So, well, maybe we'll see something different, but we expected good driving last week from Division 1, and we got the exact opposite. So,
Right,
it's at this point, it's just kind of a crapshoot as to whether we get good racing or not.
absolutely. Welcome to David on the stream. Thanks for saying hi to us all. Yeah, the championship situation. I mean, the less said about Prime's lead, the better. Really, he's far out and away the leader. But we did see a small chink in the armor appear last week. His first non-winning race finish with Celeritas, with FedEx runner having worked tremendously hard to pick up his pace and managed to get the win over Prime. Must have been a very satisfying result for him. So FedEx runner's up there, and of course Thod is with him, but Prime is still out and away, our championship leader. Hi to Lightning. Lightning's watching along, I do believe. And Branch was telling me before the race that he's suffering with some allergies. So send love out to Branch, and forgive any allergy related sound effects that we might
Yeah.
suffer.
I might be adding a few sound effects that I didn't intend on adding to this stream.
We must say a big thank you to Valentin for hosting our race last night and guest commentating alone. We were struggling with all of our members not being able to participate and stream, so we had a guest streamer and commentator for last night's race, so that's pretty cool that he looked in. Sparks is here as well, so and FedEx I think has joined us on the YouTube chat. So I don't know if FedEx runner races with us chatting in the background, Branch, but
Yeah,
I still can't imagine being able to do that.
I've done it once at I think it was Britain when we did the event like really early on in the season,
Yeah,
and I never did it again because it was too distracting.
excellent. We know some of our drivers brave it, and sometimes I think get a little bit of race intel out of us. And it looks like Prime was talking about an app that he uses to help him track his performance. I think it uses an app called Race Insight. It seems to analyze his consistency and track position as he drives. So interesting. I wonder if anyone is reading that in our paddock chat, and to see what to see if they can get any kind of advantage from that.
I tried to look up the app that he was speaking of, and I found an app for boat owners. So I haven't been that lucky in finding that app yet, but I'm doing my best because I want to find it. I need to see what keeps Prime so strong.
Yeah, it would be if that's the answer, then Prime has given away the game. But I kind of think that perhaps Prime's puts in a lot of practice. He's got a lot of talent, and I heard tell of the frequent product endorsements by Tom Brady, and how people were rushing out to buy the latest gadget he was claiming it helped his improvements on the football field. And one analyst I heard said, "Can we just stop pretending as if there's any kind of secret? He's just a great football player." So I don't know. Let us know if you download the app and it suddenly improves everything. We'll see.
Let us know if you turn into Prime as soon as you
Yeah,
download the app.
absolutely. And maybe that's FedEx Runner's secret. Prime credited FedEx Runner last week with putting in a lot of hard work and doing a lot of research as to where he could gain time. So um, maybe that's all it is. So the Albert Park
Yeah.
circuit, it's a little bit of an outlier in the F1 tracks. It's kind of its own beast branch. It requires a special set of driving skills.
Yeah, it's kind of a half street circuit of sorts.
Yeah.
Like it's obviously a street circuit because people do drive on these roads, but it also doesn't have the feel of a street circuit. Like there's a lot of runoff. There's not the straights obviously, like the overtaking here is a little more difficult than at a normal track, but you definitely don't see like a parade like you would see at Monaco or Singapore. So
Hmm.
I'm excited to see how they're able to handle it. There's a lot of chicanes. Oh, as we see rain.
Yeah, we do.
But, yeah, there's a lot of chicanes at this track that are very unique to this track,
Mm.
specifically turns 1 and 2. And I'm interested to see how many of these drivers were able to get into practice to learn those chicanes.
Absolutely. I always find a real challenge with that turn 11, 12 fast sequence, maintaining momentum through to the next straight. That's something I really struggled with.
You really have to nail that, or else you're just going off the track.
Yeah. Yeah. A little bit of everything this track has, says Sparks. And we certainly have at least intermittent rain at the moment. Drivers heading out on slicks right at the start. Let's get going. I think they're all thinking we really need to get the laps in until the track gets super wet. So Dawidek's first out there. He's decided his tactic, I think. I'm quite sure why. I'm staring at a grandstand on the camera instead of following along with Dawidek here. Here we go. Camera's caught up. So we'll see how Dawidek goes. I wonder what the actual weather forecast is. Hopefully we will find out. One of our drivers will let us know.
I'm surprised that they went out on slicks. I guess maybe they're thinking that they have about one lap before the rain becomes too much. But you also have to be careful, because if the rain becomes too much during this lap, it's better to abandon it than to keep pushing and risk losing out in the rest of qualifying altogether.
Yeah, we're about to start a lap. I was mistaken that the first driver out was actually Julian. Julian put in a great stint in Formula C earlier in the week. A tremendous first lap, so I think he might be a good candidate to watch along with on maybe a branch track guide.
Alright. Well, exit on that last corner, he actually did get a little bit more curve than you want. It doesn't matter too much, only hurts you about 2 or 3 things down the straight. As we head into this first chicane, you want to go as far left as you possibly can on the exit of that, keeping as much speed as possible, because there's a straight right after this. We need to have as much speed going into this corner right here. Slow right-hander into another slow left-hander. You really have to keep the car settled. And this one's just fling it right on through the right-hander there. Down on into another chicane that's almost a carbon copy of turn 1, just a little bit slower. Same concept, but you want to keep it all the way to the left, then all the way to the right for this long, sweeping right-hander. Down into 9 and 10. In my opinion, the most difficult corners on the track. You gotta be careful of that curve on the outside, because it will spin your car. Another sweeping long left-hander this time. Into turns 11 and 12, the quickest turns on this track. A quick left, and then another quick right. He kept it...
Planted his foot down in 6th and short shifted to 7th through 12. That was interesting.
Down into 3rd for this right-hander as you enter the last section. A little technical. Oh, he went a little bit wide there. Kept some speed. Down into 2nd for the left-hander. And then this, another tricky corner. You can't go full throttle quite as much as you think you can. He gets a good exit though, down the straight. It is a 1:25.9. So actually not a super strong lap from Julian. As we see Waitsy's out.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Interesting from Waitsy. So I felt like, yeah, there was definitely room to improve in Julian's time, but relatively, everyone else is going slower at the moment. FedEx runner in a third place.
I think the rain is really affecting them right now.
Yeah.
It looks like everyone is starting to slip and slide around. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw rain tires pretty soon.
I think that's a good shout. Lankavas coming round the final corner in the racing point for his first time lap. He's kept it on the island. Goes up to P6 with a 128.0. Thod, uncharacteristically, really slow. Quinith goes P5.
Prime goes P2.
Oh, sweet. Okay, so Prime manages it. Yeah. I think Prime might have some stiff competition from Julian tonight. The Zonic just rubbing the wall there with the side of the Ferrari tyres. We've got Rafa just exiting. Oh, he's really twitching that car around the corner. I don't imagine this is going to be a fast lap. Rafa, I think he possibly invalidated that lap, so he might be out of sequence with the rest of the drivers.
Yeah, I think he's either on his lap right now. Ozonic finishes, goes 5th, and then right after that, Thod goes 3rd.
Nice. Okay, so very close there for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and possibly even 5th. Times are really tight. So small improvement for those drivers. We'll see them jump up several places. Rafa is getting a time in now, but I feel the time for dries has gone, and we may see some drivers decide that they're not going to go faster on intermediates. Branch.
Yeah, I don't know if you could really have much better pace on intermediates than on dries. I guess for those who haven't come out and get it, it would be smart to at least try and get as high as possible. But yeah, I guess it seems like, at least for this session, the idea was to come out as quickly as possible.
Definitely. And in that regard, Julian was the first. And perhaps what we were seeing on board with Julian was tremendous car control, as the car was not behaving as he was expecting in those damp conditions. We don't really have a relative measure to see how difficult it is, but I have seen a lot of drivers really struggle to get out of that last corner, and there you see Rafa putting in a time on the soft tyres considerably slower than everybody else, so I do think that moment's gone.
He lost a lot of traction out of that last corner as well. I think dries are just completely right. Oh, is Thod just instead of fastest lap?
Okay, interesting. Yeah, so Thod on the soft tyres going quickest.
Interesting enough, he actually, I see what he did now. That was his 3rd lap on these tires.
Wow, right, yeah, of course.
Him, I think FedEx as well have just been continuing to go out on these tires, trying to warm them up. And we're able to get some pretty decent laps out of them.
Yeah, so some good experience there. I think Thod might have started to cool down now, and I think that might be his stint done. Julian is back out again. It looks like the rain certainly isn't worsening, Branch. I'm not seeing any spray off the cars. So
Lightning has attempted to come out of intermediates and is struggling big time with it right now.
Yeah.
I don't think we've hit that crossover point yet.
Well, I think Julian is going to head out on the track and see if he can better his time. See if he can get that pole position back from Thod. Between Prime and Thod in the early stages of this season, they have been trading fastest laps in qualifying, but throw Julian into the mix and an improving FedEx runner, and we've got a really tight battle at the front.
Yeah.
Purple time from Julian here.
Do you expect track evolution at a time like this when it's raining? Could the rain possibly wash away some road?
I doubt that that's likely. Our friends at Codemasters are not known for throwing things like that quite well into the mix. But I think sometimes the wet racing line can work. You can see splashes on the racetrack. Julian in the first sector went faster than he did in his previous lap. He's done a good job getting those tyres up to temperature for his first flying lap. And I wonder if he'll be watching the strategy of the other drivers. I'm seeing a little bit of spray or possibly exhaust coming out of the back of the car there, so I wonder if the standing water is starting to take effect. See as he crosses the line. Yeah, fastest time, much faster Branch, 7/10.
Wow. I believe that might be 4/10, actually.
Was it 4/10 faster than Thud? I think it was a 7/10 improvement for himself.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Prime is going purple as well, so we'll stay with Prime and see how he gets on here. Prime's left the session very suddenly on a fast lap, so that looks like a discon. Sadly for him. There we have Thod. Thod's getting out of the way of Dawadek. So I think Dawadek is just on an outlap here. He's still on softs as well. So fortune favouring the brave with our drivers skating around on soft tyres. As you said, Lightning was not finding any better grip on intermediates at this point.
David is testing out the mediums right now on a fast lap.
Yeah.
He'll be able to block his car.
We did see a number of cars starting on the mediums in last night's race, and I believe that was actually the race winner started on mediums, so made that strategy work. It all depends on the race weather forecast that we are not privileged to just yet.
Yeah.
Prime is in desperate need of an invite, I think. As is One Blood. I don't know, Branch, if you can help those guys.
Let me see if I can get Prime. I think I can get Prime in.
I don't know if you've seen One Blood or whether he's made it in or not. I didn't. Yes, he has. One Blood's fine. Okay, Zonic did not make a lap with his usual speed in his first run, so he'll be looking to improve on that this time around. Let's follow him in the Ferrari. Branch's cross-division teammate and one of our fellow editors as well. Zonic got the highlights turned around in about about 2 hours today, I think, from the race. So we'll be publishing those very soon from race last night.
Yeah, he's quick with it.
He is. So he's under his time at the moment. I'm tempted to suggest that the track is drying slightly. Conditions look to be improving.
I think it might be drying just because of the fact that there's so many people out on the track.
Yeah.
That the track is starting to dry out a little bit.
Yeah.
3. Purple, and then
he was really on it, wasn't he? He only had to consolidate that, and he was going to jump up, but maybe got a little greedy on that apex. It's a shame for Zonic, but he knows he's got the speed, and there is time to go back round and do it again. Here come the drivers out of the pits, though. I think, is that One Blood on his way out? No, I think it was actually his teammate Thod on his outlap. So everybody coming out again. Let's see what they've got. You were talking about David trying to make the mediums work. He's bailed, he's gone into the pits. So, not working for him at this point. Snarf is in sector 3, just coming through 13. That almost double right-hander. And we'll see how he finishes up the lap here. No time set for himself at this point in quali, so this will be an improvement. However he crosses the line, if he can get under 130. And he gets himself a P7, very nice, a 126.9. So a P7 was a big improvement for Snarf. He does usually have a lot of pace. Prime's disappeared again.
If I can get another in.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know what's going on. Prime. Here comes Lightning. I think Lightning is on an outlap right now. No, he goes P9 on his soft tyres, so got one lap in the bank, and he really needs to stay on track now, I think, and get going for his next attempt. We'll follow along with Thod. He's only just started his Sector 1, so we will get an idea of how fast Thod is through Sector 1. Coming up in a few corners time. Yeah, just dancing the car on the brakes there. Excellent trail braking. I do fancy that this track is one of those tracks that really favours the drivers who can trail brake the best.
I would have to agree with that. Yeah, you really kind of you have to do it with almost every corner.
Yeah.
Just kind of leave the brakes on just a little bit more than you normally would to get the car slowed down.
Well, he's under his time in the first sector. He's got a little bit of traffic ahead of him. A Haas that might be prime, so it won't be slow. Is it Lightning ahead? Okay. And Lightning, I think, is derating. Yeah, that's cost Thod, I think, into the final sector. So we'll see where he comes out here, but it will not be optimal for Thod this lap.
He went wide on the
Yeah, he did.
corner.
Yeah. Coming out of the final corner in 5th there to eliminate wheel spin, and just a shade over, so he's definitely got the pace to take the pole position if it stays as it is. Dawodex invalidated. Sadly, here comes FedEx runner though. Through Sector 2, he's 1/10 over, so it's recoverable if he can nail this fast chicane and then consolidate any time gain he's already made. Just a tiny shade over into Sector 2, so I think it's still on for FedEx runner to improve.
He just has to be really, really planted in this third sector. Oh, and he goes wide and validates.
Oh, what a shame! I think he had it there. So he's just taking a moment to reset, and we'll see the first time from One Blood as he gets used to these conditions. It's quite a bit slower than the drivers who are at the top of the grid, but they've got some experience on this track. Thod thinks that's all he's got and retires, which I'm surprised by. Yeah, One Blood went across the grass sideways, but didn't invalidate. So if he can set a time, he won't start at the very back with Waitsy's early retirement from the session, but he will also have time to go through and start another lap. Who do we have left participating? We have FedEx runner. Prime's back with us, but Prime won't get round out of the pits.
Oh, and Lightning has put himself in the wall.
Okay.
If he is out of the session.
Yeah. Have we got Julian on track? We have. Julian is 7/10 under his time in Sector 1 branch.
Wow.
So this is going to be fireworks from Julian if he can avoid an invalidation. Don't often see him playing with track limits too much. Aggressively sweeping and over onto the grass through that section just to straighten the car as early as possible, using every inch of the track here. Wheels over the line there under braking. Nailed that.
Oh, slid a bit coming out of the corner, but still.
He's got some time to play with. He's just over the time now, so lost a lot out of his own pole time through Sector 2, but that's the trickiest section. Here he comes. It's finish out the lap, and we will see if this lowers the bar.
Yeah, had a bit of a connection issue there. It looked like he went straight instead of turning on.
He's good. He's good.
Yeah.
Julian comes across the line. I think this is going to be good. Here it is. It's a faster pole time. 1:25.1. So great driving from Julian. Here comes FedEx. He is. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. He's just entered Sector 2. So we'll ride on board with FedEx and see if we know that Julian's Sector 2 was awful in comparison to the other two. So a better consistent run from FedEx Runner, and he could steal this. Can he get himself on the front row?
We've got 3/10 down from Thod, 9/10 down from Julian, so that might be a bit of a task to take that from him. But I think we have taken P2.
Definitely, yeah, I agree. What's FedEx Runner got? Is this the best the track has been for him? Crosses the line, P3, very close. Right now though, we are looking at a P5 start for Prime. He's had a lot of connection issues, but I think, Branch, I think that's our grid. I think Julian takes pole. Thod decided he'd gone as fast as he could in P2, although to my eye on track he had some gains to make, and FedEx Runner P3 will start on the favourable side of the grid. But you do give up the inside into turn 1 from the grid if you're on the odd side of the track. So Branch, take us through the grid, please.
Alright, well, we have Julian in his debut Division 1 race starting on pole, followed by Thod, both of the AlphaTauris with FedEx and Dowodec, 3-4. Prime starting P5, Zonic in P6, OneBlood in 7th, Snarf in 8th, Death Dragon in 9th, and Lightning rounds out the top 10. After him is David, Quineth, Lankovos, Pricey, Ninja Turtle Rafa, and Waitsy, who did not set a time.
Yeah, Prime is saying in the chat it's time to activate Prime Time. We'll see. We'll see if it works this week. Prime Time perhaps peaked a little early last week, so maybe saving his best for the race.
He's never had to overtake someone quite as quick as Julian.
True.
So it'd be exciting to see if he's even able to get up there.
Right. I mean, we saw Julian last week. I say Julian because I believe he's Dutch, but either of us could be correct. We did see he had phenomenal quali pace, but in the race in Singapore at least, things were a little less consistent for Julian in Formula C on Tuesday.
Yeah, he started first, finished second. Obviously, could have had the win, but I believe it was Tom that held him off.
Yeah.
Held him off enough to keep him from getting that win back from him.
Right.
But Tom's not here, so we could see him take the win here. Although there are many quick drivers in here.
Right, and I'm really excited to see what Prime's got with regard to racecraft and battling skills. It looks dry to me, Branch, at this stage.
Looks just about as dry as it can be.
Yeah. Absolutely. Sun is beating down on the Albert Park circuit, so we'll see what becomes of our drivers. It looks like Rafa's slow to get away off the grid. Quite sure what's happened there. So yeah, you don't often see that. DSQ'd from the session. I wonder if he went to get a drink or a comfort break and was late rejoining in his racing rig. Pricey appears to be on hards, Branch.
Interesting. Maybe going
unless
for
my
the
eyes,
stop?
Yeah, unless my eyes deceive me. But this is normally a two-stop race, Branch. Is that correct?
Yeah, this you could definitely say this is a two-stop. Just the one stop is available with the soft to hard, but the hard tires are just so bad at this track.
Yeah.
It's really hard to keep them warm and just be consistent with them. So I think a lot of more people are going to want to go on the medium soft, or vice versa.
Right. Well, you've got David in P11 who's elected for the hards as well. And the rest of the bottom of the field starting on mediums, as you would probably expect, to open up their strategy options for the rest of the race and allow them to take advantage of safety cars, although their window won't open for the start of the race. And then, of course, everybody else starting on those soft tyres that they qualified on.
Yeah, at least in the Division 2 race, we saw a lot of people after the safety car the first safety car, which I believe happened around lap 10, a lot of people who were on the soft tires dove into the medium, dove in to get to the hards, and stick to the one stop. I specifically went in to do a one stop on mediums and ended up spinning, so kind of remarks. But you could actually do a soft to medium one stop, but a safety car, I believe, is necessary for that.
Interesting. Okay, so Julian from Thod, FedEx runner, Dawadek and Prime, the top 5. So big guns right at the front of this race, and it's going to be really interesting to see. I'm hoping for a good race, consistent race from Dawadek. He really is owed some good luck in his own league. So we'll see what happens here. The lights are on. It's lights out and go, go, go.
Jumped.
Yeah, Julian was very quick away, and as you say, a jump start from Julian. Thod seeming to ghost off the line. So we have Thod taking second, Dawadek in third. Good start for AlphaTauri. Thod appears to be lower down the field than he actually is in reality, with Zonic up in P4. It looks like formation flying at the moment from our grid. No one getting too racy. Possibly
I did
pricey.
see some end plate damage at turn 1. Very bad for Thod. Didn't see who got it.
Right.
But someone definitely doesn't have their.
Interesting. Okay, so we've got, I think, Lightning attacking the McLaren of 1 bullet ahead of him there. Waitsy got a place on David at the start, presumably because of the difference in tyres, the tyre warm-up. Drivers are racing through the centre of the track at the moment. We've got some action here. Prime.
1 bullet is out.
Prime takes FedEx runner into the end of the lap, so Prime doing well, but you saw 1 blood exit immediately.
Yeah, at the exit of turn 11 and 12, and Julian's just diving into the pits now to get rid of that drive-through. Yeah, I guess he took a bit too much of that curve coming out of that fast 11 and 12 section. If you get on that exit curve too much with the throttle, it spins you right into that wall. It seems that's exactly what he did, and ended his race pretty early.
So Thod flying at this point. He's the fastest car on track. Prime up to P2. So he's already taken several places, as well as benefiting from the drive-through penalty that we watched happen. We've got Lightning closing up to Zonic further down in the field as well. Let's have a look. Yeah, so as we mentioned, Prime driving very well at the start here. I mean, he couldn't have wished for a situation to open things up better for him at this point, with Julian heading to the pits.
I mean, he's in DRS range of Thod. Obviously can't use that until the next lap, but yeah, the only thing he could have wanted better was to be in P1, but I guess battling for P1 is just as good. So
Lightning catching a toe down the back straight. So he's probably our closest battler at the moment in the race. Lightning looking very, very strong at this point. He's going to lose some downforce coming out of this final turn if he doesn't correct. And he's pretty gentle away from the line. Prime picks up fastest lap straight away, and Lightning, we have DRS enabled, so Lightning should get that down the next straight. It's a good exit, but he's just that really awkward distance away, which is a lot. It's a much harder track to get into a good overtaking position at Albert Park.
Yeah, it's definitely, obviously it's half street track, half purpose-built track, but you know, you can still struggle to overtake. A lot of overtakes we might see today are from maybe mistakes more than just straight up down the straight overtakes.
But it's certainly certainly benefits to put pressure on the drivers in front. There are walls, there are concrete walls around, there are runoff areas, and there are some pretty violent curbs to take care of. Here comes Lightning. Yeah, Zonic forcing him to the outside. We'll see. He gets the pass done on DRS before the braking for the 13, 14, sorry, I think it's 15, 16 corners there. So yeah, Lightning making up good ground. Further up the field though, Prime is closing on Thod, but Thod is keeping him at bay at this point. Prime fastest lap again. Don't imagine it was by a huge margin over Thod, and Prime is just suffering from some dirty air through turns 1 and 2.
Rafa is in the wall now. Lost his entire front wing down the front straight, so he's going to have to do an entire lap without it.
And a VSC follows that heavy impact. Did you see what happened, or?
I didn't see what happened. I just saw him in the wall.
Yeah.
And also, update from the lap 1. The person who had the front wing damage, I believe, was Pricey, because he went in and pit with Julian.
Okay.
At the end of lap 1.
Yeah. So Lightning doing very, very well on track from the start of the race in the first 4 laps. Waits, he's gained more places, but has had more to gain starting so far back and having drivers hit incidents. So definitely the driver of the start phase of the race is Lightning. He's got great pace at the moment. We've seen that before from Lightning, not necessarily the fastest qualifier, but come Sunday he can race.
He's got some race pace for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so VSC ends. Prime didn't visibly get any closer to Thod under that VSC, so Thod is probably maximising his trip through. But here they come down, start-finish straight.
Thod gets a bit of grass and loves it there.
Thod looked like he had cold tyres. Was someone pitting there? Dawadek?
Oh, FedEx pit.
Okay. FedEx from 3rd pits.
Interesting. I wonder if he's going on to the hards here. I'm going to take a look. Did he pit at all? And what? He didn't pit. He just went through the pits, I guess.
Did he perhaps get a drive-through that we didn't see?
Maybe. I didn't see anything.
Well, hopefully our stream audience will have seen a notification if we missed it. But yeah, I certainly didn't see one. Prime pushing hard, but Thod, we've seen before, Thod has got very good race pace and has had to come back from very far behind in the past. So we'll see if Prime is holding back a little, or they're both pushing hard. It does look to me like Prime is he's running over curbs, he's kicking up dirt, his car looks aggressive. Yeah, I don't think he's sandbagging in any way. Little lock up there, you don't often see this from Prime, so yeah, he's engaged Prime time, he's using all the gears. Sparks, someone's saying there's someone speeding under VSC. So yeah, FedEx got the drive-through. Yeah, thank you for that, Sparks. Great spot. So yeah, it was a FedEx runner over speed in the VSC period. So yeah, great to have our live stream audience with us to spot these things. Julian goes fastest lap. He's on softs, so he'll definitely pit again.
Oh, as we just saw Waitsy go into the wall.
Oh, not again.
He didn't lose any damage, so he only lost position there.
Was that on exit of a turn? Is it just
exit of turn 2?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Quineth is in the wall. That was a huge hit.
You're kidding.
He's out of the race.
Quineth has.
Oh,
yeah, we just passed him with FedEx runner's car. So looking, it's just that section of the race. Is it the soft tyres starting to wear off? Particularly if these guys were running 3 or 4 laps before they were getting their fastest lap in qualifying. Are these tyres starting to die already?
Yeah, you have to think, I mean, a lot of these guys were running 2-3 lap stints in qualifying, so the tires are going to reflect that. Generally, you could think with 1 or 2 qualifying laps on tire, you can go about 10 laps, but take 3 or 4 laps out of it, and that drops to about 6 or 7.
Yeah, so
we're getting to right about that point right now.
Absolutely, yeah, we're back under the virtual safety car conditions. The current grid order from lap 7 is Thod from Prime, followed by Dawadek, having lost FedEx runner due to a drive-through.
People pitting now.
Yeah, here comes Julian in the pits. We've got a big queue going on in the pits. Dragon, Snarf. So is it all the soft runners? No, Thod and Prime stayed out. So they're going to look to build a gap quickly. The next driver is Lankavas here in P3. He's on those medium tyres. So apart from our top two, everybody's pitted.
So it's pretty interesting because those people that pit, they were able to get somewhat of a free pit stop out of the VSC, while Thod and Prime are going to have to, what it looks like, take a full pit stop. That could actually put them behind a lot of people that they were in front of.
Absolutely. So Dawadek went on to hards, hoping to go for a one-stop. He's right there with his teammate, FedEx Runner, who hasn't pitted yet, although he did serve a drive-through. So right now, FedEx Runner, 6-lap-old softs. He's going to need to pit very soon. You fancy maybe that virtual safety car period might have been a good time for any soft runners still out to make their pit stop. I think Lankavas is going to inherit the lead when our front drivers come in.
Yeah, they're coming to the last corner now. Thod is staying out, and so is Prime.
Okay, so able to make these tyres last. They're fairly happy on them, but they're not going to get a gap to Lankavas before they have to pit.
Both of these guys are pushing really hard right now. Prime is
really
closer than he ever has been on the straight.
Yeah, here comes Prime showing himself in Thod's mirrors, but Thod is unfazed. He knows he's too far back, and he can trust Prime not to outbrake himself. Takes his line. Eyes forward for Thod. And he knows that if he takes his own line, it's very, very difficult to pass around Albert Park. The question is going to be the timing of the pit stops. You're in Thod's seat, Branch. What's your call right now? Pit early?
I would say it's not a bad idea to pit early, because you gotta think these softs can't be so quick that Prime's gonna be faster than you on medium tires.
Yeah.
So I would probably pit right now if I were Thod. Even if Prime pits behind me, there isn't really a guarantee that he's gonna exit the pits in front of him. So
no, and you can't control what the driver behind you does. So it is almost advantage Prime here. He can do the opposite of whatever Thod does coming up to this to the end of the lap. Thod pulls across,
and Prime is going to do the exact opposite.
Yeah, Prime has clearly got pace, so we will see Prime lighting up the screens at the moment. If he's got any tyres left, I'm pretty sure we'll see purple sectors right now from Prime.
Thod onto mediums.
Okay, interesting. 20 laps on mediums.
Oh no, hards. Hards is on hards.
Interesting. Okay, so definitely come out behind Lankavas there. And it looks like Waitsy, who's clattered his car but got himself up to P3 from the back of the grid at this point in the race. Prime slightly over his fastest time, but not by much, and clearly it's time to push for Prime.
Yeah, he's really got to have a good in-lap here.
Yeah, there was a lock-up there that cost him a little bit, and a little skip over the dirt. So I don't think his tyres are quite letting him do what he wants to on the track. Still over the time at the moment, so I don't think he's really got all the weaponry to fight with that he'd want at this point. So
yeah, all he's got to really do at this point is be faster than Thod on Thod's outlap.
Yeah.
Lankavas on a completely different strategy from them altogether, as he's going to inherit the lead after Prime.
Here comes Prime into the pits. I'm going to stay with Prime and see what tyres he puts on. Is he brave and puts on mediums? Will he have been looking at what Thod is on, asking Jeff what tyres Thod's on, I wonder? Those look like hards. Okay. So same strategy for Prime.
Right now.
Interesting. Let's see. Prime has only just left his pit box. We've seen that Lankavas go past with a huge gap. This is close. Surely Thod's got him here. Yeah. Thod had the tyre warmth advantage. He's got new tyres, even though they're hards, and gets out ahead. David is defending from Dawadek, but not successfully. Dawadek gets by, locks up, and gets the move done there. So P4 for Dawadek on hard tyres. Those are slightly older, so his pit stop was significantly earlier than Thod and Prime. But Lankavas needs to make hay now. This is his opportunity to have zero distractions on track and try and his tyres should be performing at least as good as New Hards, but time will tell as Julian sets the fastest lap again. Waits is pitted as well.
Julian's trying to make a comeback here. I think the only thing that would get him close to the podium would be a safety car.
Right. Yeah. So a bit of a changing fortunes for Julian from Tuesday and for FedEx runner from last week. FedEx runner in 10th at the moment, although you fancy he will get a couple of those medium runners when they pit. And of course, we haven't seen many penalties, I say, just as Waitsy gets one. But the race is young for penalty count. Branch, it's not an easy track to avoid penalties on when you've got corners on straight.
Absolutely not, no. The track limits are so strict here. You have to be still on the edge for so many turns that it's just inevitable to happen. Sometimes you're going to go wide.
Yeah.
It's just a question of how many of these guys can keep it disciplined enough to keep it from going wide.
Looks like Dawidek got lightning in that lap, inside that lap there, and I just noticed that Thod took a second out of Lankras in that full pace lap for both of them, so clearly got a lot of pace, and Lankras I don't think he's going to be able to resist that kind of pace difference, especially with the aid of DRS when he gets there. So Dawidek up to P4 now, having a great race at this stage, but I'm going to say absolutely nothing. Looks like Julian getting Waitsy further down the track. Those guys are close together, but Julian got by. Julian's on 3-lap-old mediums there, so does have a grip advantage over Waitsy, but may have to stop again, or at least drive very gently towards the end of the race.
He could maybe make it at the end, but it's going to be a bit of a show.
And he's also picked up more penalties than anybody else at this point, so driving hard and not necessarily avoiding the stewards' watching eye. Thod is closing up here to Lankavas, so we'll see how quickly, if at all, Thod can get by. Thod is definitely in the first half of the season. He's definitely been one of the overtakers. If we were able to do statistics like this, I fancy that Thod would certainly be the chief overtaker of Celeritas at this point. He's had a number of first lap incidents that have forced him to overtake, and here he comes. He's really close now, 2/10.
He really needs to get around him now.
Yeah, gets up the inside on the way into turn 11. Job done without DRS. Breezes by with the traction difference, and yeah, he'll be hoping Prime struggles a little bit more to get past Lankavas.
Prime has been just about on the edge of his pace and still not able to catch up to Thod. It just kind of seems like Thod is just playing the gap right now. His Prime's right on the back of Lankavas, hoping to maybe get past him at the straight, but he lost a little bit of time coming out of that last corner.
In the back of the minds, will these drivers be reluctant to pull out a large gap, Branch, for fear of safety car?
I don't think so. Even if you expect a safety car, I would think that a lot of these drivers would want to just take that gap just in case there isn't one.
So Prime gets around the outside of Lankavas, but it was a DRS pass. Nothing Lankavas can do. He defended, but Prime had already gone past by the time they hit the braking zone. DRS doing exactly the opposite of what we really wanted to do, which is to put... Go ahead.
The question really is if Prime just has pace compared to Thod. Because right now, it looks like he is just a little bit too slow to catch up.
Further down the field, P8 and 9, we have Snarf and Death Dragon. These guys are pretty close behind Zonic. It's probably closest battle at the moment. Any inter-team Ferrari chat been going on this week about strategy or practice, Branch?
I haven't really seen anything. No. Yeah. Pricey unless you ask Pricey what kind of strategy he likes at a track, he generally won't tell you.
Right.
So
Pricey has DNF'd along with Gwyneth, Rafa, and One Blood at this point. I don't think I caught Pricey's DNF on
he
screen.
DNF'd around when Julian went in to do his drive. Or no, actually, it was a little bit later on.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly when it was, but he DNF'd around the time that people were pitting. He
Right.
must have just decided he didn't have the pace to keep up.
Yeah, and unlike in earlier in the week when we were commentating, there are no points beyond P11, so to that end, I guess there's less need to finish a race, but I tend to think pride is a good reason to finish a race. That and anything can happen. You can have a multi-car pile-up and end up inheriting a point at the end. Sparks asking what happened to Shenda. I believe Shenda had a scheduling clash because Shenda was one of our really early pace setters in Division 1. I believe there was a schedule clash, possibly an esports competition he was part of. And yeah, sadly we lost Shenda from the league, but we hope to pick him back up into the next season, I guess. Maybe next season our times will work out better for him. I think there's a lot of leagues running at this point in the game's history.
Yeah.
You know, nearing the end of the game, a lot of people, established players, and also I guess European lockdown means that a lot of people have got a lot of time in their hands to take part in league races.
Yeah, you could also maybe just think about the fact that F1 season just started. A lot of people wanted to get back into the game.
Yeah, for sure.
We have not very many battles going on right now. I think Dawidek is catching up to Link of us now.
Yeah, I was hoping something was going to happen here on the 7-8-9 gap, but yeah, we'll keep our eye on Dawidek. He is closing in, isn't he? But I guess 14 lap old mediums. Lankovas is the last person to pit at this point, so it's quite possible that his tyres have had enough. But that will be a really awkward point for him to pit at lap 15, 16. What's the decision? Is it hards or soft?
It'd have to be hards at that point. I don't think you can carry softs all the way. I wonder if he's trying to make these mediums last long enough to where he can go on the softs.
Yeah. He pulls aside, I guess, to break the toe. Yeah, a little weave. I thought he was letting Dawidek go, but it's immaterial because Dawidek's got the overspeed from DRS. And Lankovas tucks back in, tries to drive his own race. I think he knows he's not fighting these guys for a podium position with the strategies unaffected by a safety car at this point.
I'm noticing Prime at the top. He's falling back from Thawed right now. Already 2.5 seconds back. Thawed is just absolutely the fastest car on track right now. Besides maybe Julian.
Besides Julian, yeah. Snarf pits from P10, I think, so Julian gets into the points at this point, though he has got those penalties, so he'll be hoping not to rack up any more. So far, so good on the penalty count, Branch, about halfway through the race. Yeah. So looking good for Dawidek. I think Dawidek's catching Prime, which will please him no end if he's able to catch up towards Prime and Thod. Is Thod managing the gap? Is Prime pushing as hard as he can? Let's go and have a look at Prime and see what we think about his car handling. Branch, we'll join him on board.
He's setting pretty decent times right now. He could probably go a little bit deeper into the exit of turn 1 there, going into turn 2.
Yeah.
Oh, Waitsy's out of the race now. He was right behind
Shade of a
Snarf
lockup into 4.
Yeah. VSC.
Okay, so it looks like Waitsy's hit the wall. If we've got a VSC, that's a shame. Waits is usually good for a chat if he DNFs Branch, and it might be a good time to talk with the driver and find out how the race has gone, given the lack of action on track. This is typical for Albert Park in real life and in the game. It's a little Monaco-like in its ability to spread out the field. It's obviously a lot faster than Monaco, but there just aren't the straights to enable decent slipstreaming.
Yeah, it's very similar to street circuits. Not quite similar to the rest of them, but yeah, like we were talking earlier, it's somewhat of an anomaly.
Yeah.
To most F1 tracks, as the VSC has ended.
So to my eye, Dawidek lost at least half a second during that VSC.
Yeah, he did lose some time there.
Yeah.
And it's a bit of a struggle because you have to monitor that delta. You can't go over it for too long, and also if you're over the delta when the VSC ends, you immediately get a penalty, which I believe is a drive-through.
Yeah.
So you really have to be careful, and I guess he was just trying to be a little bit too careful and lost some time to Prime there.
So it's all to do again for Dawidek, although it did feel like he had some additional pace to Prime. Lightning's up to 4th, with Lankavas still touring in 5th place. Was that a good opportunity for Lankavas to have pitted?
He was in Sector 1 when that happened, so I don't think he even had the opportunity to pit.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, it really hit him at the bad time. But I suppose someone could hit the wall at any point and open up that pit stop window for him. We'll see as they tour through.
He's getting pretty close to the point where he could go on to softs. I think that must be his strategy, although I don't know how much that's actually going to hinder him.
We saw some of those tyres going off as early as lap 6 on those softs, but now the track's rubbered in, there'll be new sets of softs rather than quali used softs. So yeah, could extend out to maybe lap 8 or 9 laps. Much beyond that, I would say, is unlikely. We'll check in with Lankavas. He's only a second behind Lightning, and he's got a nice big gap to David behind him. You can barely see him in his mirrors going down the start-finish straight, so no threat from behind for Lankavas. He can just concentrate on time management and staying with...
Julian and Snarf are right next to each other on track right now. Julian trying to get back into the points.
Good catch. So Julian going around the outside, little touch of wheels, having to be careful.
Brian just gets a penalty.
Okay, very interesting, because Dawidek at the moment does not have any penalties. Let's just have a look at the penalty value. So Prime on 3 seconds of penalties. Dawidek then doesn't have to do quite as much to catch him. Snarf's trying to stay with Julian, who is on a recovery drive. He's got 1 point so far. I think he'll have more when those remaining medium dryer runners pit. But yeah, a little bit of contact there. Snarf came from a long way back, backed out of it slightly.
He did more contact than Julian. Was not happy about that.
Yeah, definitely. Julian wasn't expecting that at all, and Snarf didn't manage to get far enough ahead under braking. So yeah, speculative, brave, but perhaps too far back to launch that move. But Julian lives on. Both drivers escape without damage, so no harm, no foul at this point, I guess.
The Lankavas is finally pitted. He's on with the fast now. It's going to be a battle to see whether... Oh, no, it's not. I think FedEx is right past him.
Okay, so yeah, Lankavas comes out on soft tyres. He'll have a lot of pace now. I wonder if he can make up any places with that tyre advantage, but he's going to try and do 9, maybe 10 complete laps on those soft tyres, so can't afford to take too much out of them. We will still be expecting a pit stop, I think, from David, possibly.
Yeah, he pitted on lap 1, I think, actually.
Right.
It's like, so I don't know if you can go a whole 28 laps on hard tires.
No, a conservation drive to the extreme to try and make hard tires go 28 laps, but time will tell on that front. He's certainly up to P5 at the moment, but that would see him drop down considerably. What about the fate of Lightning? Lightning already pits on those 13 laps.
Right now.
So, yeah, a late dash out on softs, I imagine. Okay, so they're not going to last. They're not going to last at all. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. Where are Lightning and David going to come out of the pits, and how's that going to shake up our top 10 order? Lightning gives up a place to Zonic, gives up a place to FedEx, and Lankavas not quite. So David gives that place up to Lankavas, and I don't know if Julian's going to make it past. He's definitely not going to make it past. Okay, so your new order on lap 21 is Thod from Prime with that handy 2-second gap. Dawadek has continued to fail to recover after that VSC, the kind of pace he was showing relative to Prime earlier, and is 6 seconds back. So not close enough to take advantage of Prime's penalty. Then we have a big gap to Zonic in P4. Really large gap considering the VSCs we've had. There's definitely a big 4 pace advantage tonight. We have FedEx runner in P5, and then we've just seen Lightning pit, and he has to run 7 laps on softs. Lankavas is trying to do 10, I think, followed by Faye, Julian and Death Dragon. Snarf's gone. Snarf's had enough, maybe. He's out of the race, so we are down to just points paying positions for the second time in a row on Celeritas Division 1. So again, it's been a race of attrition.
And Prime is starting to catch back up to Thought. Obviously, the penalty is going to make it a little bit harder for him to get a win here.
Just looking at Lightning, hate to interrupt, but Lightning is super close here to FedEx runner on the soft. He's on the softs. FedEx defends hard to the inside in turn 4. Will feed him out to the outside, but no, Lightning's going to get the inside switch back, and the grip difference is night and day for Lightning versus FedEx runner. It's a matter of time.
He's just got all the grip in the world, and I think he's going to be able to get past Sonic here too. I don't expect him to be able to catch up to Dowdick, especially since he has a penalty.
Right.
But I think 4th is definitely the card for him.
Yeah, can he get sufficiently far past Zonic to get away from his penalty? That's the story for Lightning. That's certainly his aim, and of course that will be easier the sooner he gets by. So we'll follow along with Lightning because he's looking racy at the moment. We'll keep an eye on Lankavas, who's also close behind FedEx runner, and then there's a big gap down there to David. Sorry, I missed that.
I said these 4 are just they're starting to catch up to each other now.
Yeah.
Lightning is right on the back of Sonic, big bump up.
Yeah, he wasn't expecting Zonic's breaking point to be so compromised as Zonic darts across to the pit wall. Try and break that toe. It's not going to happen. Here comes Lightning with... He's not going to quite get past. He sweeps across the front wing. That was really close. And that really helps out FedEx runner. Yeah, here comes FedEx runner.
Lankavas down the inside. He makes contact with Sonic. There's damage.
Yeah, Lankavas very greedy there. Exactly the same problem we saw with Snarf and Julian. So, same corner, same brave lunge for the gap, but yeah, Zonic held off and wasn't expecting it. And now Lankavas has got it to do with a missing front end plate.
Yeah, he was really far back there. I don't know if he was trying to make the move or not, but he just came in way too strong on the brakes, tapped the back of Zonic's tire.
Very distracting watching what's going on ahead of you in that situation. It's quite easy to get a braking point wrong, or at least to have a braking point, you know, a marker board hidden from your view because cars are in the wrong positions or too close to you. It's not easy.
So this question now is if he's going to be able to, if he's going to go into the pits here, trying to repair that damage, or if he's just going to try and hold position.
Exactly. Yeah. He's going to brave it for a lap more at least. He's not missing quite as much wing as some people did at this stage of the race last night, Branch.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it looks like he's starting to lose a lot of time to Sonic, obviously, with that damage, so...
But
he can just keep...
yeah, in 5 laps, is he going to lose 20 seconds, which is going to cost him in a pit stop? No, it's probably wise to keep running. Hope someone picks up another track penalty. Thod just got one. Yeah.
Oh, that's going to...
Dawidek's going to be kicking himself that he didn't manage to close in those early laps on the hard tyres, because he could be on for a win at this point if he did remain that gap. He was only probably 4.5 seconds off the lead at one point tonight, but I'm sure he'll be happy with the podium after the string of results he's had lately.
Yeah, Prime has got a fire under him now to make a pass on Thod, because now it's a battle straight up for track position now, instead of just having to worry about the penalties.
Complaints about the track in the chat from Snuff. So yeah, I don't like it. Some drivers really like Australia. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of watching races there, and I'm not a fan of I think I'd be far less a fan of the Australian track if it wasn't the first one in the season, and you're really excited to see the new cars.
Yeah, I'm excited though, because they are changing the layout and making it a bit quicker.
Yeah.
They're making a few turns that are normally pretty tight. They're making a bit wider. They're making, I believe it's 9 and 10, just a complete flat-out section.
Mm-hmm. It will be exciting to see cars trying to go through there under slipstream and everything, for sure. Something's needed to be done for years. Dawidek really cut across that apex. He's not needing to be particularly vigilant at the moment of track limits. He's got nothing to gain and not very much to lose. Waitsy agrees, doesn't like the track at all. I'm sure he likes it even less tonight than he did before the race began, for obvious reasons. But yeah, Dawidek kind of in a race on his own at this point. Lightning similarly a long way back. Doesn't want to get another penalty though, because that will see him lose out to FedEx Runner. Lightning has got that gap that we were talking about, so he's consolidated his position. He can afford to turn things down and avoid exit curbs and avoid being too aggressive. Consolidate that 4th place. He's had a great drive today.
We currently don't have a gap that's under 2.5 seconds right now.
Right.
So,
yeah, I was trying to ignore that, but yeah, it's not great.
At this point, I think everyone's on a race of their own.
Yeah, true enough. True enough. My predictions for tomorrow, Spark says. I mean, I guess given that Spark's asking the question, he's racing tomorrow, and I know he's got good Division 3 pace. He's got good pace in the other divisions when he's guested, and I think he's had great results so far. I don't think you can look past Sparks, and I won't troll everyone and suggest Jamie to win. So no, I think Sparks is probably going to be the guy tomorrow again.
Yeah, I would have to go with Sparks as well.
Waitsy said he's willing to have a chat with us as we close out the race. So maybe we can get Waitsy, but we'll probably stay with track action until the drivers cross the line. But that gap between getting hold of the winner and reading out the results might be a great time to talk to Waitsy. So
Lankovas has a bit of a chance to make an overtake here, because Sonic just got to finish up the penalty.
Interesting, yeah, and he'll know that. He'll be watching those penalties, but Lankovas is really struggling to race around without that end plate. So, yeah, it's all a question. It's tenths of a second. He needs to gain 6/10 on Sonic. So we'll see if he can do it. Julian's going to struggle to stay ahead of Dragon at the end of the race here with those penalties. He's collected even more, so he's been pushing very, very hard tonight. Prime has fallen back. I think the fight's gone out of Prime. I think if Prime time was turned on tonight, it didn't last very long. So yeah, a second race now where Perfect Prime has been less than perfect. We might have to change his nickname soon. Thod, though, Thod's been racing hard for weeks and weeks and been staring at the back of the Haas, or been struggling to get back after a first lap incident. Thod, more than nearly anybody else, I think, in Division 1, deserves a good result and deserves a win. He's been battling.
Aside from any crazy events in the last couple laps of this race, I think he's going to be able to get this win. I don't know if it's his first.
I think it, yeah, that's an interesting point. He may have won the first race, or one of the ones that that Prime didn't participate in. I'm just going to have a quick check. Thod has not won yet. He's had 2 seconds and a third. But his typical race has been tremendous qualifying pace, an incident in lap 1 or 2, massive recovery battle, and then catching the back of Prime. That's been his sort of the story of his journey through the first half of the season, Celeritas. This, I'm sure, if he can keep it on the island for one more circuit, Thod, I'm sure this one's going to taste really sweet. I hope he's got some ouzo ready at the end of the race to toast good performance.
After so many just awful results of just having the pace and not being able to use it, because you have to recover. It'll be nice to finally have a race where he got out front really early, and really never gave it up.
So it's race 9 of a 16 race season. We will begin our next season fairly soon after the end of this one. I think all of our seasons will be timed to finish at the same time, so that we can reset and reorganize our drivers. So just answering some of the questions in the chat there. Spark's been very busy. He spotted a penalty for Dawadek. Hopefully that won't affect his podium at this point. And he asks if I'm streaming tomorrow. No, I don't stream on Sundays. It's my family movie night on a Sunday. So if you want a Webbo and Branch stream race or a Webbo and Storm stream race, you'll have to get into Division 2 or Division 1, I'm afraid, at this point. Or join us for Formula C. But Thod is coming out. He does a little bit of a traction moment on the penultimate corner, but Thod, a masterful drive, weaving across the track for show, and takes the win for Renault, followed by Prime 3 seconds back. Great drive, really fantastic from Thod, really happy for him. Yamas to Thod, and Dawadek goes through and picks up P3. I don't think his penalty is going to be threatened. His position is going to be threatened by that penalty, as through comes Lightning, who has the same size penalty. Lightning picks up P4. Congratulations to him. FedEx Runner won last week. Another strong showing from him, and he gets a P5 at the end of the race. Great drive from FedEx Runner.
AlphaTauri with a great drive. Both of them finishing.
Definitely, yeah. Ferrari in 6th with Zonic. Good drive. And we get David now in the Williams. First of the Williams tonight.
David was a 10th away from taking Zonic's position.
that was super close, wasn't it? Yeah, Lankavas gets P8 after circulating in the podium and having the lead at one point. And then Julian is going to round out and finish our drivers with a 12-second penalty and a dramatic start of the race. He took pole to 10th. May not sound great, but he did suffer a jump start and recovered there. So very good driving from all of our guys. Fantastic stuff. Do we have Waitsy? Has Waitsy managed to join us?
I invited him. I don't know if he joined yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the trophy is lifted by Thod for Greece, for Renault. Brilliant stuff from him. Must be good to have Prime a step behind you on the podium. An event that only Thod and FedEx Runner can say so far this year. So really interesting situation for them. Waitsy, do we have you there? We'll just have Branch give us the finishing results, and then we'll touch in with you.
Sweet.
Alright, so Thod with a fantastic race, 2nd to 1st, taking the win. Prime jumped up to P2 after one lap and never gave it up. Dawidek in third, Lightning in fourth, Dawidek's teammate in fifth, Zonic reserving in the Ferrari in sixth, David in seventh, Linkavas in eighth, Death Dragon in ninth, and Julian the pole sitter running at the top 10. Then we have all the DNFs with Snarf, Waitsy, Pricey, Quineth, Rafa, and Oneblood.
Just a moment to talk about that fastest lap. Was 3 seconds faster than anybody else from Julian. So credit to Julian for that fastest lap at the end. Waitsy, great to have you on the stream again. What happened? What went wrong?
Same old story, my friend. Tried to take too much of the... tried to steal the inside curve at turn 5. And then just ended up meeting the wall. And then I think, I don't know, going on... I said to myself before the race, I would not go on those hard tyres for the life of me. And what did I do? Hard tyres went on. 5 laps later, I met another wall, and that was that. You know, what can I say? What can I say?
Yeah,
it was fun while
you were
it
saying
lasted.
you don't like Albert Park, but did you like it before you came tonight, or has it always been a hate-hate relationship?
Yeah, it's always been a hate-hate relationship, me and Albert Park. We've never got on. I don't think I've ever had one decent result in any time that I've raced on that track. So,
wow.
You know, it is what it is. I had a couple of interesting little battles while it lasted, which were a bit fun. But yeah, just, you know, another race with no points and slipping down the championship table as we go, I think.
Yeah, well, let's hope you can halt that backward progress there, and hope you can get some improvements. Hopefully, Branch, you can try and invite our podium to the chat. I'd love to chat with them before they disappear off to celebrate. But yeah, wait, see, next week, any better for you? We're heading to Azerbaijan next week.
No, I'll be surprised if I don't go through 4 front wings next week. So be prepared for another post-race interview where I've scored no more points.
Well, at least
having fun, all the fun.
We'll know to watch you if it's going to be entertaining. Thanks for joining us, Waitsy. It's been great to
guys.
chat.
Have a good weekend.
Thanks a lot, man.
See you later, guys.
I'm pleased to welcome Thod to the press conference. Thod, congratulations. That must taste really sweet tonight.
Thank you, mate. Yeah, I'm really happy for this win, but it was a very hard race because Prime was was pressuring me all the time.
Yep. How hard were you pushing? Did you feel like you could manage his pace, or were you feeling nervous the whole time?
No, I wasn't going to the limits, but I was very anxious during the race because it was behind me, and I was like, I must be careful not make any mistake or something like that.
Sure.
Then I saw the penalty, and I was like, oof. I took a deep breath, so it was a good.
Yeah, it was, and you had good qualifying pace as well.
It could be better because I lost, I think, half a second in my last lap, but P2 it was good.
Yes, it was very good, and yeah, you've had to work really hard for this first win. Is it going to be the first of many?
I hope so.
Yep.
I hope I will get some more wins during this season.
So tell us for the sake of all the other drivers, only you and FedEx Runner know the answer to this question. What's it like looking down on Prime from the podium?
I don't know.
It must be satisfying given his pace.
I think it's very difficult to have Prime behind you because he's a very good driver. He's really fast. But I think I had the pace in the past, in the last races to get the win, but I was unlucky, I think, because I had to make a recovery during the race and take all my places back. So yeah.
Fantastic. Next week we go to Azerbaijan. How's that track for you? Do you enjoy it?
I really like it, but the castle it's very difficult. I think
Yes.
we'll have many retirements there.
Excellent
I
stuff.
hope I'm not being one of them.
Yeah. You're usually locked in a time trial battle with Dawadek, I know, most of the week in practice.
Yeah, I know, and with FedEx.
And FedEx as well. Excellent stuff.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to watching your race next week, but yes, celebrate tonight, and well done. We really enjoyed watching that. It's really satisfying after all the difficult races you've had so far.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Talk to you soon. Thanks, Todd.
Thank you too.
I think Prime might have been called to talk to the stewards for a few minutes, Branch. So we might need to talk to either Dawadek or FedEx runner. Did Dawadek join us, or
We have FedEx in here right now.
hey FedEx?
Hello.
Hi. Good to talk to you. A good race, P5 in the end. How was it from your seat?
Pretty boring, like everyone else says in the chat.
We're on an entertainment channel, FedEx. Could we just rephrase that for the sake of the coverage?
Well, I guess it's maybe a bit more interesting because I got a drive-through penalty.
Sure. Was that, and that was, we heard that might have been overspeed during VSC?
I had 2 seconds on the delta, so when it said safety car, virtual safety car ending, I not completely floored it, but floored it. And then when the restart happened, I was like less than a tenth
Right.
too fast.
Oh man.
I got a drive.
Yeah. That's so frustrating. What were you targeting at that point in the race? Were you expecting to get on the podium?
Well, I mean, I let Prime go, I don't know if you call that, but I let him go because I just don't have the trust in people yet. And yeah, Davidek was quite close behind me, although through the fan sector somehow in the race, I was quicker, so I could always pull a gap,
Right.
even if I didn't have the others in Prime. And then yeah, I pit and I released Davidek, and then yeah, pretty good pace. And yeah, in the end, solid.
Okay, excellent. Yeah. How did qualifying go for you? Were you satisfied you got everything out of it tonight?
I didn't, not really. I think also like Davidek, Julian, Prime, and Todd, they always only did 1 lap, while I think
Right.
I did 3 on both sets, because in the rain you
Yes.
need to adjust. But yeah, I mean P3 was pretty good. I was surprised that that Davidek didn't pass me in the start.
Mhm.
And because he went defensive on Prime, it meant that Prime couldn't send it on me, so
Yeah.
start was pretty good. And yeah, everything went well, pace was there. Just until the drive-through, everything was pretty good.
Excellent. Okay. What are you feeling about the next race? Are you feeling like you might have a good showing in Azerbaijan?
Well, Azerbaijan I'm gonna miss.
Okay.
It's
probably not then.
I said that already.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I wonder how close that is. I didn't do the math yet. But I hope Davidek, well, it's a pretty strong track for Davidek.
Yeah.
So I hope he can get the points for AlphaTauri. And yeah, I am gonna watch the stream. I'm gonna be in the chat.
Okay.
For sure. So yeah,
Awesome.
looking forward to see what's gonna happen there.
Yeah, well, hopefully you can line up a good reserve driver for your spare seat. Maybe see if Tom's available from Tuesday. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, congratulations on a P5 and commiserations on a drive-through. But good, strong drive, and thanks for sticking with it and not giving up easily. Not mentioning any names from our other drivers there. But yeah, thanks for sticking with it, and a good result. Consistency will pay off in the end, I'm sure.
There's so much that can happen.
True.
Like in these races, I think 6 people again DNF, and you can again
Right.
be last and get points. So if you spin on lap 1, you can change your front wing twice, and you still have a good chance.
Exactly.
Points.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't. If you give up, it's basically just giving away points which are free. So never
Absolutely.
give up, whoever's listening.
Good stuff. Well, thank you very much for having staying with us. I'm going to move on to a different driver now. I'll let you go to your next interview. Dawidek, I think, has joined us, and I think stay tuned on the stream because we are still expecting to talk to Prime. I'm sure he'll be out of the stewards soon. But Dawidek, a strong result today. Congratulations on getting on that podium.
Thank you. About time, is it not?
It is about time. I wasn't going to say that, but you know, if you're going to open that box, we'll talk.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of surprised to get a podium today, especially with Julian racing, and I had a feeling that Ford and Prime would be a lot faster than me, and it kind of showed in the race. But yeah, I was overall happy with P3, by quite some margin as well. Looked like a pretty boring race to commentate because, see, when I looked at the minimap, everyone was so spaced out.
Well,
like
hopefully we did our best. I think we found plenty to talk about. We didn't leave long gaps, did we, Branch?
No, I don't think we did. I think we were pretty good about it.
That's good.
But yeah, you've been owed a good result for a lot of weeks of struggle. Does it make it taste even better? Or are
it
you
does
just
indeed. I thought, you know what, once again, it's going to be alright, but I feel like the curse is broken now, you know what I mean? Now
Good.
I can now only get better from now on.
Definitely.
But yeah, we'll see.
I would.
Anything can happen. Yeah.
I'll on that a little bit.
Next week, I spin you in safety car again.
No safety cars tonight, and you survived. I don't know if there's a connection there.
It actually might be, you know. Holy yeah, damn.
Well,
right.
no. So, I was going to ask you about the next race, but given that we've just been talking about safety cars and spinning into walls, probably best avoided the next race. Enjoy tonight. Celebrate your podium.
Oh, dude.
Good to talk to you, Dawidek. Really good.
Right,
thanks, man. Thanks a lot.
Right,
see you later. Do we have Prime? Has Prime joined us? Is he available?
I don't think he's joined us yet. I did invite him.
Okay, we'll hang on for a minute. He's busy congratulating the other drivers, so we'll give him props for that. He's a good sport. He was certainly a good sport last week. His congratulations, Todd, for good pace. What about your review tonight, Branch?
I mean, probably feels like it's a bit of a missed opportunity because what really killed his race was just the jump start at the beginning, and after that, there was VSCs obviously, but that's not something that can really catch him up to the front of the field like a safety car can.
Correct.
So at the end of the day, he's probably kicking himself just for that one little mistake.
Excellent. I think our Finnish driver Prime has joined us. Prime, you battled hard tonight, but you couldn't quite get Thod in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. After the first laps, I thought that my pace was good enough for this track, but I wanted to drive much more carefully because of the internet connection issues what I had on the qualifying, and also I was quite surprised that in this race there was only VSCs, which is quite annoying, and the Todd won the race actually with the undercut he managed to do on me. So he did a good call on the strategy to pit a lap earlier than me. So I decided to push a little more hard, but it wasn't enough. So and after that, Todd made what Seb did in 2017. In my opinion, the most boring Australian Grand Prix. What happened in real Formula 1 happened now in the game.
Well, I was a fan through the days of the Michael Schumacher dominance, so I've been able to find interest and enjoyment out of nearly every race I've watched through the years. So I tend not to believe in boring races if you're looking hard enough. And I wasn't bored tonight, but I can understand that from some of our drivers' perspective, looking at an empty track is a little bit dull. Your pace at the end looked like it had tailed off. Had you decided it wasn't going to happen, or was that where you were in terms of pace tonight?
I just decided to drive carefully and just keep the fuel management on a good position and saving some ERS and trying to save those to the final lap to get the fastest lap, but it didn't work out because the pole sitter, unfortunately, he died after the first lap. Not on offense, Julian. Like it was sad that you got that 5 second.
It was a jump start. Sad. It was a jump start. Yeah. So yeah, his fate was sealed in the first meter of the race. I'm interested in that pit stop. Were you always determined to do the opposite of Thod, or were you tempted to follow him in on that optimal lap?
Well, I was hesitating to follow him to the pits. It might have been a much better call to keep fighting against him, but I thought about it like only 10 seconds and decided to, because then I just could have run after the traffic and it didn't work out.
I think when you're following the car behind you, have got that advantage of knowing what to do and doing the opposite, and the only way to guarantee that the positions stay the same is to do the same thing, I guess. So you took a chance. I'm really hoping you've got footage of your first lap, because take us through your first lap. You got several places through there.
Yeah, I got a few places. It was quite, I have to say, easy to overtake on the lap one.
Oh man!
Sorry guys, but it was quite easy. Give me some challenge.
FedEx is still here.
Yeah. Still.
I know FedEx is here, and I know Davidek is one of the easiest drivers to even overtake in Celeritas. Like in Canada, I remember after the safety car restart, I followed him and I overtook him the corner before the Vettel 5-second time penalty corner. So,
brilliant!
Davidek,
Okay.
you have to be aware of me much more next time.
Would you say Davidek's being a bit of a Rosberg?
Davidek is a Rosberg, yeah.
Excellent. Okay. So, Branch, you're the editor. I hope we can get this into the edit at the end. That'd be really good.
We'll absolutely get it.
Now, talk to me.
Edit that out.
Talk to me about prime time, because it didn't feel like it had engaged fully. Is prime time dependent on a good internet connection?
The prime time depends on the last lap clutch times. Like I mean that the crunch time begins on the last 10 laps, when I really trying to get everything out of the car. So it's not all about the whole race. It's just that I need to keep up the pace and going to go for the crunch time. But yeah, it didn't work out this time. But next week, when you mentioned that we have Azerbaijan Grand Prix, it's one of my favorite tracks on the game and in real Formula 1, and it's the in my opinion better street circuit than Vietnam. So I really wish that we are going to have a full grid next week and lots of action and lots of safety cars, and hopefully someone will crash on the castle.
So how many cars are you going to lap next week?
Maybe none, because I'm pretty sure that we are going to have 2 or
safety
3 safety cars.
Yes. Good call. Well, yeah, Prime, it's always fun to talk to you, and congratulations on a podium. Probably doesn't feel like something to celebrate, but well done, and I know you worked hard.
Well, I did a little celebration. I just pointed the thumbs up, and I'm like, this was a good race. This was a very good race. Congratulations for Todd as well.
Yes.
Todd and FedEx, just keep grinding, and you'll be on the championship fight at some point.
Good stuff. Yeah. So, do you think that 2 dents in the perfect record is enough now? Are you back on top next week?
I really wish I am. I really hope. Remember that I'm like Vettel, like I have the same kind of sense of humor like Seb has. So.
Fantastic. Okay, well, we'll look forward to that, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again soon. Thanks, Prime, for stopping by.
Thank you for the you.
Cheers, man. Bye. Good to talk to you. Good drive. Thanks. Well, okay. we've had a really busy press conference today, but I suggest we perhaps call it a day there, Branch. Had you finished your the on the Branch review?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Excellent. Well, yeah, that was I think that was a good race. Some of our drivers were not enjoying it, but I'm sure they'll take a positive result in the points over a dramatic early finish. So, all the same, we look forward to what should be a better track next week at Azerbaijan. Remember that we will have a race on Tuesday night, 8 p.m. UK, for our third round of Formula C, where Branch features as one of our drivers in one of our self-created teams, and then next Friday and Saturday as usual at 6 p.m. UK for our divisional races. There's a division race tomorrow. It might be you might have time if you want to join the Discord through the links in the YouTube channel to get in touch and see if you can reserve into that race. But failing that, thank you for watching, thank you for commenting, thanks for your co-commentary, Branch, and we will catch everyone next time on the next race day.
All right.